Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Chronically Ill Diaries podcast. I know it's been a minute, but let me just explain, okay? A lot has been going on. One, I got married. Two, because of unfortunate events, Franz's little brother moved into our apartment unexpectedly. And three, life has just been fucking crazy, so I'm here to update, I'm here to have fun, and let's get started, okay? Okay, so here's the update. First of all, yes, you heard that right. We got married on August 12th, which was like a week ago. And let me just say from the start, I've always wanted this small, intimate wedding. And during the planning of our wedding, it turned into this big, like, we need the whole family. We need this to be a big party. Like, we can't exclude anyone. And it was never like a malicious thing. It was never that we didn't want people there. But like, if you've been married, if you're planning a wedding, like, you know that it's super expensive to have just one extra person at your wedding. And like, at the venue that we have, it's $57 per person to eat. So I wanted to limit the people that we had at this wedding. And it was never that we didn't want someone there. If it was up to us and like money wasn't the thing holding us back, like, everyone and their fucking mom can come to our fucking wedding. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, if you know us, if you love us, if you care about us, and you just want to celebrate us, like, fucking come. But the fact that it comes down to like, we have to pay for you, like, obviously it's gonna be us deciding who we truly like are gonna count to come. But we got married on August 12th, and let me just say, it was literally my dream wedding. If only like a couple more family and friends could have been there. Like, my actual bridesmaids that I asked were there. It would have been the perfect wedding. But let me just say, it was perfect. And I did end up asking bridesmaids, and Franz ended up asking like some groomsmen to be a part of this wedding. And I don't regret it. I would love to have those people in the actual wedding. We added, for me, it was his two cousins, my friend, my friend from work, and my other friend. And I really, truly love them so much. And if I could just put the wedding into one word, I would just say perfect, or I would say amazing, because truly it really was a dream wedding. And at the end of the night, we all like jumped into the pool with our dresses on, and everyone was just in the pool. Everyone was just having fun. It was just amazing. And for the first time, like, this is really, really sad to say, but for the first time at like a family party event, there was no drama. There was no cliques. There was no just drama in general. Everyone got along. Anyone that didn't know each other were friends by the end of the night. Like, it was perfect. Like, we didn't have any petty things, nothing. It was amazing, and I just wish that I could relive that night over and over and over again, and just, like I said, have a few more family and friends there. That would have made it just way better, even though it was already, like, how can you top that? So that was my wedding day, August 12th, and also what I mentioned was how Franz's little brother moved in with us. And honestly, I don't even want to get into the details of that. Like, I can go on and on about it, but end of day, it was a surprise to Franz and I, and his parents helped move him in without contacting us on our wedding day at 4 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, it was an experience. It was definitely like a great start to the morning, end to the night type of vibe. But he moved in with us right now, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But I wanted to get into the actual topic of this week's episode, which is basically choosing yourself. this can mean a lot of things, and it can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. But one of the ways that I wanted to like present it was a lot of times when you are single, when you live alone, like completely by yourself, you build up these routines for yourself, and you build up a way that you want to live your life, and you're able to do these things a lot of the times. For example, when I was just living by myself, actually at my parents' house, I was living at my parents' house, and I like built up these routines where I would wake up and right away I would make my coffee, I would get ready, and then I would go outside where I love to just be outside when it's cold and crisp in the morning, and I would journal. And I would either write down something I need to get off my chest, and if I'm have nothing to get off my chest, then I would just straight do like gratitude or something good that happened the day before, etc., something I'm excited about. And then I would grab my stuff for work. I would put on a motivational podcast, and I would get in the car, drive to work, have my work day, and then at night I would catch the sunset somewhere. And those were the few things that I did every single day to make me a better person. Those were things that I wanted to do. That was a routine that I didn't want to break. And so I didn't let people break that. And if I was dating someone, I still did it. If I had plans on one of the days, I would still do it and make it work. But the thing is, when you are with a person that is completely different than you and completely different in how they have routines, want routines, etc. For me, I am so routine based, and being with someone that is no routine, no structure, just to go with the flow for me. Like, I can't live like that. And to him, I'm probably like uptight and I need everything to be my way. But in reality, it's not like that. And I really just like routines. They make me super happy. And don't get me wrong, he likes routines too, but he's not as good as like picking one type of routine and sticking with it long term. Like, he switches it up a lot. And so for me, to me, it's not a routine if it switches up a lot. But, you know, everyone's different. Some of these things that could be in the routine is like if you like going to the gym, but your partner doesn't like going to the gym, but you live with this person. And it could be so easy to just fall into the habit of, oh, but they just like want me to stay home and like watch TV with them, or that sounds so relaxing, it was such a long day, or oh, I just got off work and normally I go to the gym right after and then I'm free, but he wants me to meet him and get drinks somewhere even though it's a Wednesday, and yeah, that throws off my routine and I don't know what to do. And then you end up doing these fun things before you do your routine, and it just throws you off. And let me just say, at least for me, I'm never like in the right headspace for that week if I'm thrown off too many times and like going out of my routine too many times. I don't mind having a quote unquote strict routine during the week. Like, I like it. I like structure. And I just feel like the ideal thing would be being able to build a routine together with the person you live with your partner, that works for both of you. And maybe you guys don't do the same exact things, but you're both aware of this routine and you respect the routine. And that would make it easier on, let's just say I'm the one that wants to go to the gym every day and he is the one that wants to do this and that or whatever. Then it's like, he knows that's my time to go to the gym and I'll ask her to do something afterwards, you know? And like just having that mutual like respect for each other's way of being, because when you're dating someone, it feels like your life should just combine, like especially at first, or like if you just move in together. But realizing that for so many years you've both had your own routines and your own way of living and your own way of doing things and so on, to just now be in the same living area as each other and still wanting to do your thing, not your person's thing. No, your thing. It's a hard thing to get used to be able to maneuver through. And so truly, like, being able to be on the same page, and like I said, even if you're not doing the same things, just being aware of that person's things that they like and are doing and want to do, and being the motivator to tell them, like, yes, go to the gym. You can meet me here after the gym, but go to the gym. Do that. Oh, you don't want to eat bad this week, like you want to eat healthier meals. Okay, then maybe I should pick out a meal this day and I'll cook for you. And then we can switch and we can think of new recipes. And maybe on the weekends we can go through Pinterest or TikTok together and we can find new recipes. And then, like, that will be what we make for the week or whatever the fuck. Like, being there for each other in that way, but letting your partner still do what they need to do, so that way you, as you, can still choose yourself while choosing someone else. This doesn't just have to be like a partner that you're dating, in a relationship with, living with. This is like the most ideal thing to do with them. But if it's a friendship that you've been friends your whole life and now you're on this journey of health and fitness, and your other friends on this journey of post-breakup party, this, that, gotta be out, gotta be doing shit on a fucking Tuesday. It's just good to let them know that, like, this is my routine, whatever. I don't want you to be mad, and, like, have that conversation. I will still be there for you, but for me, mentally, like, I need to choose myself. I need to do the things that I need to do to not only just make me happy, but to keep my mind healthy, to keep me just mentally prepared for the week, prepared for the day. I just need to do these things. And then, like, just being able to communicate that, but in the back of your mind, no matter how guilty you ever feel, if you feel like you're not doing what your friends or your family or your partner want you to do, don't feel bad, because at the end of the day, life is too short to always choose someone else. You got to choose yourself a lot. And obviously there's exceptions to that, like always choosing yourself. There's obviously exceptions to that. But when it comes to what I'm talking about right now, please choose yourself. Choose what makes you happy first. Choose what makes your mental state better first. Don't choose what makes so-and-so's mental health better while it's hurting yours, so that you can't be that good person for them. Does that make sense? I just feel like it's definitely something that I'm working on, friends and I are working on still, but I just feel like it's the road, it's the words that I'm living by right now that I want to get to with what I'm talking about right now. And I really do want what I'm saying right now to be the way my life is very soon, like fully that. It's working on it. And I think if you're in like a similar situation where you're married, you're dating, you live with someone, and you really just want the respect of your routine and your time, and telling them that it's not because you don't choose them. Like, you're choosing yourself because you choose them. I'll say that again. You're choosing yourself first because you choose them and you love them. You gotta fill your fucking cup first before you can fucking give to them. Like, it's so, you've heard it that a million times. It might sound so cliche, but it's the fucking truth. And I cannot be a good person for my now husband. I can't be a good person for my now husband if I am not feeding myself first. I'm not filling my cup first. I'm not taking care of myself, and I'm not choosing myself first. If I always choose him first, I'm miserable. I'm miserable. And he can probably say the same. If he always chooses me first every single time, he is miserable. But if he chooses himself first and he gets his mind right to be there for me, we're both happy. And I'm doing the same, and we're both happy. Choosing yourself is way better than not doing anything at all, too. Like, you gotta work every day. mentally making yourself a better person, or doing one small thing that's helping you become the version of yourself that you dreamt about being, you want to be, you manifest to be, that's what's going to get you to the place that you do want to be. And it all starts right here on this podcast. When you turn off your phone right now or whatever, and this podcast ends, I really want you to think what you do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, to choose yourself. It doesn't always have to be like all the things I listed that I like to do every day. No, it could be something like once a week, I take my dog to the park and we just have a park outdoorsy day. Once a week, we go for a hike, or I go for a hike by myself, or every night I go for a 20-minute walk around the neighborhood and I listen to a podcast, or I listen to nothing and I just take in my surroundings. Once a week I sit down and I paint. Something like that. It doesn't have to be every day. It can start small. It can be even as small as once a month I do this and it fulfills me and it's making me a better person, and slowly add in things until it becomes once a week, until it becomes every other day. And then things can be daily things that you do that actually make you happy. You can do stuff every single day that makes you happy. You could fit it into your schedule. Your day-to-day life doesn't just have to be like work, school, cleaning, like bullshit stuff. Like, yes, you have to do that stuff, but there's always room. No matter how busy you feel, like I keep having to remind myself, like there's always time, there's always room to put something in my day that is me choosing myself. And don't get me wrong, like I literally have to remind myself that it doesn't just come naturally to me. Like I have to remind myself that, like, listen, you can take 5 minutes, put down the clothes that you're fucking folding, go outside by the pool, sit in a fucking chair, and just sit, just be, listen to your music, whatever. So sometimes, like I did this the other day, I was walking home from the gym, and I was at the apartment gym. So I was walking back to the apartment and it was like sprinkling. So I went to the pool and I just literally sat there with my AirPods in. I closed my eyes and I was doing breathing exercises, and I was there for maybe like 15-20 minutes. And even though the workout typically gets me to a good mental state, no, that 15-20 minutes compared to my hour workout seriously did so much more to me mentally, my happiness. I went to bed in a good mood. I woke up in a good mood from those 15 minutes because I chose to take that time to do that. I needed to go home. I needed to eat. I needed to get my food ready for the next day. But guess what? I took those 15 minutes and I still got all that stuff done. So it is possible, but it can start out much smaller and work its way, or not. You could be satisfied with once a month, once a week, whatever it may be. All I want you to do is think about what we talked about today. Not that I'm an expert or anything, but think about what we talked about today. Think about what those things are for you, and maybe write them down. Make a list. Tell your partner to make a list. You guys talk about your lists. You figure out ways that you can maybe fulfill yourselves together. And maybe, side note, maybe it's one of those things is you guys choose to do a date night once a week, once a month, once every other week, depending on how much you want to spend and everything. Things like that. Being able to really connect with yourself, with your partner, with all of those things, build your relationships, build your own mindset. But it all, like I've said, starts with you. It starts with choosing you first, and that's okay. You're not a selfish person. You're human, and you need to fill your fucking cup first. And with that being said, I think I'm going to end the podcast here. Man, I felt like kind of passionate about that. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, like kind of just talking about mental health. And I I've been staying away from them for a while, but I've been coming back to them, and they're just really like fueling me with all of this thoughts and things that I want to say and things I want to do for myself. So I really hope that this podcast inspired you to really think about those things. And I hope you guys have a happy Wednesday. And I love you guys. I'm Jane Cassiano now, and I can't wait to talk to you guys very soon. I will see you next week with another episode. Bye, guys.